Thank you, Ori. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Is it already almost Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Holy mackerel. Things are going by fast. So it's time to be grateful, isn't it? It's so interesting because so many people have told me how bad 2020 has been, the year 2020, and remembering and rehashing all the things that have gone wrong and all the stress and all the drama. And now it's time to stop all that and remember everything that we have to be grateful for. So I think this is a wonderful time to do it. Today we're going to be turning up our gratitude factor. And I love it because it could be the only prayer that you need. Thank you. Meister Eckhart once said that if the only prayer you ever say in your whole entire life is thank you, that it will be enough. It will be enough. So let's say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to God for life. Thank you to everyone in my life for all that they give to me. And all that is given has remained with me. It doesn't go away. It fills my being. What does go away, what does get pushed out, is all of my grievances and my anger and my judgments and my necessity to make others wrong. And all of these feelings that keep hurting me, that keep hurting not only my mental health, but also my spiritual health and my physical health. When I hold on to anger, it gets trapped in the cells of the body. It's like your cells are fighting with each other instead of loving each other and being harmonious. And so when I'm grateful, I'm becoming harmonious with my environment. I love that idea. Gratitude is a game changer in shifting our focus from blame and shame and lack to peace and power and prosperity. So whenever it's all about our own inner work. Whenever I'm in blame, blaming someone else, whenever I'm in shame, blaming myself, then I'm in lack. I'm thinking, I really need something to happen to make me happy, instead of being grateful for all the things that are already celebrating happiness within me, that are already extending happiness from me. Being grateful for all of those things. I read another wonderful thing just yesterday. It said, we don't need more things to be grateful for. We need to be more grateful for what we have. And so the next thing that it does is it brings you into the present moment, which is really important. To be in the present moment with you, to be really present with the gift that is being given to each of us by our gathering here today. Where two or more are gathered, in any circumstance or any situation, it's up to me to remember that this is a holy encounter. As I see you, that's how I'm seeing myself. As I treat you, that's how I'm treating myself. As I think about you, that's what I'm thinking about myself. So think about your dialogue about other people, because actually, that's your inner dialogue. And if it's negative, and if it's attacking someone else, you're only attacking yourself. So to be in the present moment is so important. To be grateful for this moment. This moment is the most important one. It's the only one we have. And so gratitude brings us into this moment. And you start to notice all the things around you that you never even saw before. It's so amazing. I was walking down the street the other day. I never noticed this beautiful tree over there. Never noticed the steeple sticking up in town higher than all the other buildings. I noticed how the clouds were forming, and I noticed the temperature of the air on my face. I noticed the sounds of the people. walking down the street. And of course, the cars. But I wasn't angry at the sounds of the cars. I just heard them and just accepted them as part of that present moment. So if we can accept everything that's going on as part of this present moment, we'll be grateful. And it will bring us more awareness of the gift that this moment has to offer. Zach walking across the sanctuary in the middle of my message. I'm grateful for that. That's wonderful. I love this kid. He's so beautiful. So in that moment, I'm going, oh, there's Zach. Oh, thank you. Thanks for being here. All right. Okay. So, thank you. All I can say is thank you, because I love you. Thank you. Even if it's something that really kind of upsets me initially, there's always a gift in it. And so I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you as my only prayer today. All day long, that's my only prayer. Meister Eckhart said it could be the only prayer you say in your entire life. At least let it be one day. Just thank you for this day. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for this moment of healing. Thank you for this moment of recovering my balance with the universe, my appreciation for my brothers and sisters. Because when we focus on our gratitude, the tide of disappointment goes out. We go, thank you. Well, things are shifting and changing. Thank you. That's great. We love things to shift and change because the adventure continues. And so the tide of love rushes in. And it comes from sometimes very unexpected places, which is wonderful. The tide of disappointment goes out. The tide of love rushes in. That's gratitude. That's the ocean of gratitude that you can feel when you just focus on each and every moment as being a gift. Each and every person is a gift. Gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. Does anyone agree with me on that one? Yes. It is. There's a lot of emotions I can have. I can be sad. I can be angry. I can be disappointed. I can be fearful. But gratitude is also an emotion. It's an emotion that opens the door to happiness. It's the healthiest emotion because the more you express gratitude for what you have, the more you will have to be grateful for. Zig Ziglar, I love that guy. He was one of those first positive thinkers, right? Starting in the 50s and 60s. I love that. So it's a human emotion, gratitude. It's close to love, actually, because when I'm grateful for you, I'm feeling a lot of love. And nothing's going to stop that from happening or stop the energy of that from flowing. And that's the natural flow of the universe, that my gratitude is going to flow. My love is going to flow. And regardless of our situation, regardless of our differences of perception or perspective, we were talking about that I interviewed an author this week on the podcast who had written a book called Finding Healing at the End of Arrogance. And she's got a new book out for children. And it's called Sky the Skunk is Not Invited to the Party. So it deals with emotions. It deals with human emotions and emotions that all of us go through. But if we begin to address these emotions as children, we will realize that we have emotions like gratitude, appreciation, love, relief sometimes, healing, that we're surprised that everything's working out, that the universe has my back, that everything is conspiring for my highest good. And these are things maybe we know conceptually, but you have to experience them in your being. And so children can experience them, even though we have to have it expressed in words in order to understand it. Kids aren't that way. They just understand it from experiencing it. That's their feeling. Boom. That's it. What you see is what you get. But the thing about gratitude is that I can accept your perspective, even though it's not mine, and the situation is exactly the same. It's like the two people viewing a number. One is standing on one side. He says, that's a 6. The other standing on the other side says, that's 9. Because they're seeing it from their own perspective. Did the number change? It's exactly the same. But my perspective sees it as a 6. Amazing. Yours is a 9. It's a symbol. Which is it, 6 or 9? The answer is yes. You're both right. Isn't that amazing? You're both right. Just because someone has another perspective doesn't mean that they are wrong. And so it's important to see other people's perspectives, have gratitude that they're actually helping you to be in an experience that's beyond your limited focus. There's a lot of information in every situation that I can't perceive. A lot of positive information. A lot of good stuff going on that I cannot perceive if I'm just focused on my perspective. So gratitude is going to open your heart to miracles. A grateful heart is actually a magnet for miracles. When I'm grateful, miracles are going to happen. I love that. I always say that. I'm a magnet for miracles. When I'm walking around with John, I love it because when somebody comes and says, how are you? He says, I'm mastering magnificence. Now, how many people are going to respond like that? Most people, we live in a condo and there's a lot of people walking around saying hi to each other every day. I love it. It's a little neighborhood. And you'd say, hi, how are you doing? And most people go, oh, good. Fine. Great. How are you? Okay. Not bad. I say, I am awesome. Fantastic. Amazing. That's good. That's fine. It's a little too enthusiastic about life. But I'm not up to the point of mastering magnificence. I'm working on it, John. I'm working on it. I'm still healing. I'm still working, and I'm still being grateful. And that's the important thing. Because the more things that I'm grateful for, the closer I'll be to mastering the magnificence that God has given me. I'm a masterpiece of God, but I'm also a work in progress. All of us have to admit that we are a masterpiece, but we're also a work in progress. We have to keep doing our own inner work. That's what opens the door for gratitude and happiness as we do our inner work. And I'm so happy that we had the word forgiveness as long as it took us to get you the daily word this morning. I needed to hear that. That was an amazing synchronicity. Lily and I were part of a Forgiveness Weekend broadcast, Course in Miracles Forgiveness Weekend broadcast from South America. And there were 140 people last night in our seminar. And I was teaching with an old friend of mine who's in Florida, who's written a book called Heal Your Mind, Heal Your Life. Heal your mind, heal your life. So now I got a good focus. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to forgive. And we had such an amazing 2 hours of forgiveness and teaching forgiveness. And we all sang at the end, I am God's perfect love. I am God's perfect love. Because when I have forgiven myself and remembered who I am, I will bless everyone and everything I see. I will look on love. I will look with love on everything I failed to see before, everyone I failed to see before. I will look with love on every one of them, and I will be grateful for them. So I'm so glad that forgiveness is such a big part of this, because gratitude is the memory of the heart. I'm remembering all the love. I'm remembering all of the wonderful words, situations, experiences that I've had in my life. Nothing can take that away from you. When you're afraid, when you're angry, when you're lashing out at others, you're saying, you've stolen my peace. No, I'm sorry. Nothing can take my peace away from me. I have gratitude as a memory in my heart. And that's what I remember. I remember all the wonderful, beautiful things that we shared. All the love that you gave and that I gave to you, that we shared together. That's what I want to remember. And so it comes down to a decision. I decide to remember those things. And guess what? My grievances melt away. Gratitude makes sense of our past. It makes sense of those things that have happened, because now I'm remembering the good things, and I'm making sense of all the stuff that happened that maybe was a little uncomfortable, but what happened in that moment was that it brought up what needed to be healed in me. It may have been uncomfortable, but now I can make sense of it. It had to happen to move me, push me off of that place where I was stuck, hurting myself with grievances, hurting myself with judgments, hurting myself with judgments of myself. I'm not enough, that I need to do better, that I need something to acknowledge that I am okay. Well, if you need something to acknowledge you're okay, I'm here to do it right now. You are not only enough, you are a magnificent masterpiece of the love of God in action. And you're that right now. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to please anyone. You don't have to jump through any hoops. You don't have to do anything to enter the kingdom of heaven, because you never left. You can't sin against God. There is no sin in the kingdom. We were taught so much growing up that if we don't sin and we're good, we'll get to heaven. No, there is no sin in that sense. You're only hurting yourself. And that's the big game shifter. That shifts everything. When I am getting the results of my own thoughts, my feelings, and my beliefs, which is the third principle of unity. Now I'm grateful for that. Instead of being afraid of the results of my thoughts, I'm grateful for it. So here we go. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. It makes sense of the past. It brings peace for today and a vision for tomorrow. All that gratitude gives us. We're making sense of the past. Oh, I love this. This is by the woman. I like this quote because I like this author. She wrote Codependent No More, this author. Stop trying to control others and take care of yourself. That's amazing. Isn't that incredible? I love it. So the way to take care of myself is stop attempting to control others. That's really cool. I like that. Codependent No More. I actually recommend that book. Acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for abundance. Acknowledge the good that you already have. I love it. That's the foundation. Everything else, it's come up to show you where you need healing. And great. I'm going to do that work. When I see that, that's the work I know I need to do. I like that. So the foundation for abundance. Oh my goodness. I like that because we're in a program. We're all, there's like 8 or 9 of us who are doing the 4T prosperity program. And if we want to be abundant, we have to be grateful. We have to acknowledge that which we already have. We have to say, wow, how wonderful is this? No matter where you are, you have a lot to be grateful for. And so you build, that's the foundation. You build on a solid foundation of gratitude. It doesn't matter how much or how many things you have. If you're not grateful, they won't be worth anything. You'll always need more. That's not abundance, that's lack. That's I need more. No, it's not like that. All I need is what is for my highest good, here and now. And everything that is for my highest good and to express that good in the world will come to me when I need it. Always. Every moment. It comes to you when you need it. Exactly when you need it. Just being grateful for what you have will bring about your abundance. Well, I didn't read anything from my notes yet. No, I love you guys. I'm going to go right to a story of forgiveness because forgiveness is the key to gratitude, and gratitude opens the door for abundance. And there's a wonderful story about a New England couple. This is an illustration of forgiveness and thanksgiving. So you've heard of the story in the Bible of Cain and Abel? Everybody heard that story? Yes? Well, this is the story of Steve and Mabel. A couple from New England who lived in the mountains of New Hampshire. They both were carpenters. They got married early and they opened their own little small furniture business. You see, Steve built the chairs and Mabel built the tables. So it was called Steve and Mabel's Chairs and Tables. But Steve and Mabel, like any couple living together and working together, ran into some marital conflicts along the way. And one day, Steve just got angry. And he stormed out of the house and he said, Mabel, I am no longer going to make the chairs for your tables. And he moved to the other side of the valley. And Mabel was lonely. For 2 years, Mabel sat in her house on her side of the valley and Steve in his house on his side of the valley. And one day Mabel said, I'm tired of being lonely and sad. I'm going to have a Thanksgiving party and I'm going to invite the whole town. Well, all Mabel had was her gift of carpentry and her expertise at making tables. So she said, you know what? I'm going to make a table big enough for the whole town to sit and join us for Thanksgiving. And so she proceeded to build this huge, beautiful table. And when she was done, she said, you know what? I'm going to need a big tablecloth because this table could fit a whole town of people. So she went to the local tailor and she asked the local tailor to make her a tablecloth for the table. And he said, Mabel, I would do anything for you. I will make that tablecloth for your table. And he made this beautiful tablecloth, and they stood there together, and they said, you know what? We're going to need plates for this table. We've got a beautiful tablecloth. Let's go to the person that makes the plates. They went to that person and makes the plates. They said, we're throwing a big Thanksgiving party. Will you bring the plates to us? And guess what? She said yes, and she brought the plates to the table. She filled up the table with the plates, and she says, you know what? The three of them said, we're going to need some silverware. We're going to need some glasses. And so they went out and they found the people that made those things, and they put those on the table. Oh my goodness, we're going to need some food for this table. We're going to need something to drink. And so they went to those people. They went to the farmer, and they went to the person who made the wine in town and who made the juice, and they brought everything, and they had this table full of beautiful food and drink, and it was gorgeous, and flowers. The person that grew the flowers brought the flowers, and they went to sit down at the table, and there were no chairs. And Mabel thought, boy, I wish Steve was here. He'd bring the chairs. Just in that moment, there was a honking of the horn. And Steve was driving over the hill, and he came into town, and he pulled up to the table. He said, Mabel, I'm sorry. I can't live without you. I've been lonely all these 2 years. And Mabel said, me too, Steve. And he said, guess what? I brought a truck full of chairs for your table. So they set up the chairs, and everybody had a beautiful Thanksgiving dinner together because Steve and Mabel forgave one another because they knew that a chair was useless without a table. So, you guys, I love you so much. Be grateful for those in your life that provide the chairs, those who provide the tables, those who provide the food, those who provide the clothing, those who provide everything that we need. We are interdependent, and we need one another. We really are one. And if we are going to say we are one, it's important to really practice the art of gratitude. So be grateful. Turn up your gratitude factor, my friends, and be a blessing wherever you go. I love you. Amen.
You have been watching the message from our Sunday celebration service here at Unity on Cape Cod, providing a positive path for spiritual living. Please join us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at 147 Walton Ave, Hyannis, Mass., and visit us online at unityonCapeCod.org. This video was made possible in part through a grant from Unity Worldwide Ministries and the Templeton Foundation.